Are you a
See, your eyes look like periscopes.
Right, we're gonna press the button. It just went all quiet.
They do. That's not very good.
No, it's funny how it's like black all around them.
Oh, you guys aren't supposed to see it.
Oh, this is not everything.
That was funny.
Okay, guys, on your desk, you should have had a handout. That's what you should be doing as you go around. Read the directions.
Guys, is there anybody in here that has not taken the quiz or that took the quiz home to work on it?
I took the quiz home. I haven't.
That hasn't given it back to me yet?
I haven't given it back.
What quiz? You haven't given it back?
Shane.
You haven't?
I thought you meant the
Shane, are you sure that you don't have your quiz?
Yeah.
Will you check your binder? I could have sworn that I let you take yours home to revise the ones that you missed. Max.
I'll pull your chair.
What'd you do with my pencil?
Shane, are you sure? I can't find your quiz anywhere. And I know that you took it. Look at it, it's right there. That's okay. I just want to make sure I get your grade in it. Okay. I want you to look at this one again. That's what you did it backwards. Okay, that's okay. You just got the numbers and stuff. And right here. Right here, you need to look at changing these into improper fractions, okay? And then carrying out the steps that you do over here. You understand? Okay, cool. So how do you change a mixed number into an improper fraction?
See how many times the number can go into the
No, that's when you change an improper fraction to a mixed number. For here, you take the denominator and multiply with the whole number, which is what? And you add the numerator, so what does that work? Okay, so we'll do 8. And you keep the same denominator over 3. And you do the same thing over here. So it's 2 times 4 plus 1. So this one there. And then you turn this into a multiplication problem, okay? So just look at those two and tell me. That way you can get there very close. Has everybody had time to work on the go rate a little bit before I go over it?
Yeah.
Before I be over, okay?
I don't know, but Cameron looked like a zombie.
me on her page on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. But it looks pretty dark. Like she's like all like
That's what we're wearing tomorrow. You're wearing these wedges. Alright, you guys ready to go over this?
I think
Hey guys, when you're rounding, what was that saying? I know that in elementary school they taught it to you because I've heard several different 5 to 9, or say 5 or above,
give it a shove.
give it a shove, 4,
Give it a, let it go.
4 and below, let it go. So if it's 4 and below, so 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, you're gonna leave it alone. Let it go.
JD, when you pass that, what did you do with the right
I picked up that, they're on the grade book right there.
I see. Okay, great.
And then 5 or above, give it a shove, that means you're gonna push it up 1. You've never heard that, then, okay.
I had never heard that before. I think that's pretty good.
So you, no, this is wrong. Yeah, that is wrong.
Okay, guys.
Just listen as Miss Pond goes over, she's gonna explain it.
Make sure that, let me unfreeze it.
Can you wait?
Okay, there we go. So, let's look at your bell ringer that I keep losing. Here we go. Who wants to read the top and the part A for us? Maddie.
For a biology experiment, a biologist orders small plastic bags to contain parts of plants. The images below show the thickness of the 3 different types of bags she ordered.
And you do want to report it if you want.
Okay. What is the length of each bag rounded to the nearest hundred?
Okay. So before we start rounding, I'm going to look at each of these bags and underline the hundredth place, okay? It's not asking us for the hundreds, it's asking for the hundredth. So that means it's going to be on which side of the decimal? Right or left?
Right.
Right, good job. So on the first bag, what would be the number that I would underline for the hundredths? You all didn't have to underline this, I just want to go on it. 3, good job. What about for the second bag? William? 3. And for the last one? 9. Good job, guys. So if I'm going to round these, all right, what did you guys say just a minute ago? If it's 0 to 4, let it go. 4 and below, let it go. 5 and above, give it a shove. Which number are they talking about for 0 to 4 and 5 and above? Is it going to be on the right of that 3 or on the left of the 3?
Right.
Right, so it's going to be what number in this first one?
7.
7. So 7 is going to be give it a shove or let it go.
Give it a shove.
Give it a shove. So our rounding would be 9, will be 0.94 because we gave it a shove.
And you can also think of it, because I know sometimes right and left, sometimes you all get confused with that. Sometimes I get confused with that. You can also think of it as the number in front of it or behind it, because it's always going to be the number behind. Like if you're doing the hundredths, it's always going to be the number in the thousandths place, so the number behind it. Okay?
Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. Now on the second bag, we have another 3, but what is our number that's going to determine if we go up or down?
Is it the 9 or the 4?
The 4. So, since it's a 4, what is our second bag going to be rounded to? Someone raise your hand. Maddie?
0.93.
0.93, good job. Okay. Now, number 3 is kind of a tricky one. Somebody want to tell me what they got for it? I know your name. No, I want to call you Maddie Cameron. Sorry, I'm going to call you Maddie.
I just got 1.
1, okay. Do you want to explain to us how you got 1?
Well, since the hundreds place is 9, and then say go to the next number up, but it's 6, it's greater than 5, so you go up to just go to a 0, and then it'd be another 0, and you go up another 0.
Good job. Okay, did you guys understand how she did that? When she bumped up her 9, it goes to a 0, right? So that means it went up to the next 10. So that's when she went to her 10th place, and that was a 9 too. So when she bumped that up, it's going to go to the next whole number, which would be 1. Does everybody understand that? Was that a good explanation for you guys?
You can also look at it as the 6 tells you that you're going to bump it up, and when that's a 9, you can go ahead and take the next number into it and look at it as, okay, 99, what am I going to bump 99 up to? And 99 then would go up to 100.
So since,
Okay.
since the question, I know that 1, you usually don't write 2 zeros behind it, but it asks for the hundredths place, so that's why we put 2 zeros. Okay? Now part B says, the lab manager now needs to put bags in order from least to greatest. Write the thickness of each bag from thinnest to thickest. So which of these bags, and we're not looking at the way that we estimated it, we're looking at the actual bags up here, which it would still not matter. But which one is the thinnest, JD?
The thinnest is 0.996.
That's the thinnest? Look, we're gonna do the thinnest first.
Compare your place values.
Yeah, look at our place values. The lower numbers are gonna be small. Let's see. We have
Well,
9.
what if you were looking at the rounding? Look at the rounding. You've got 0.94 or 94 hundredths, 93 hundredths, and then 1 whole. Which one of those is the thinnest? The 0.93, the 0.94, or the 100, or the 1? 93 would be the thinnest one.
So now, our thinnest one will be bag number 2, which is 0.934. So what would be the one in the middle for him?
9.
Good job. Bag number 1 is in the middle, 0.937, which leaves the thickest one to be what, guys?
0.996.
Good job.
And I want to kind of point something out here also, especially now that she's got them lined up. If we look at these, if we're looking in the 1's place, can you tell which one's the thickest or thinnest? No, because they're all the same. If we look in the 10th place, can we tell any difference?
No, a little bit.
Not if we're just looking at the 10th.
Yeah,
because
you're all right.
Because all of those are still the same, so they all still look the same. Now if we take into account the hundredths, well, we know that this one's 3 and 3. Can't tell any difference yet here, but we know that this is the thickest because 9 is thicker than 3, right? It's bigger than 3. So that's the reason we can put this one down here. And then when we start looking, or what you could have done also is just looked at the hundredths and thousandths place. And you've got, since these are all the same, you can compare 34, 37, and 96. 96 is bigger, then 37 is the biggest, and then 34 is the smallest.
So everybody see that? Alright, and that kind of answers our question or that explain how you determine your answer. Did anyone else kind of look at that in a different way than what Miss John just told us about? Did you guys kind of figure it out by the way that she just explained? Jake?
I really don't, like, I get how she did that, but, like, I don't, get,
The rounding part.
How we count the rounding? The rounding? Okay. Yeah.
some more of that. This was just kind of a bell ringer to get you thinking about it. So we'll be doing more of that just a little bit later.
If you want to write this down, remember put 0 to 4. The number stays the same, and it's talking about the number to the right of it, okay? And then 5 to 9, you increase or go up by 1. Is that kind of, if you guys can't remember 0 to 4, whatever, I can't.
4 and below,
4 and below,
let it go.
let it go, and 5 to 9,
5 or above.
9 to 5. No.
5 or above, give it a shot.
Okay, yeah. See, you guys are gonna have to quiz me every day now this week, because I can't remember. Every day you guys ask me if I can find it, okay?
Did you do it?
Well, I can't, you gotta ask me tomorrow. I'll study tonight when I go home, okay? So does everybody kind of get this worksheet?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to hand out a worksheet, and it's going to be on adding and subtracting decimals. When you get this, go on and turn it over to the back, and we're just going to take a few little notes on it, okay?
Now, while she's handing that out, I want to point out something because I know that this is going to be really easy for some of you. Some of you, you might have to remember back a little while, but on school standards, it says the students will be able to fluently add and subtract multi-digit decimals with speed and accuracy. So we have to review this. So let's think about what some of these words mean. What does the word fluently mean? If you can fluently do something, what does that mean? Alright, you kind of go with it, you kind of run with it. So fluently means that it's kind of easy for you. So you can easily add and subtract multi-digit decimals with speed and accuracy. And what does accuracy mean?
Get it right.
That you get it right, you do it correctly. Because, so since this is in there, even though it might be easy for you, we still have to review it and go over it at least a day or two. And we kind of did a little bit with it on Friday on Apex. So today we're going to do a little bit more practicing, just to remind you, because sometimes we forget things if we've not used it in a while.
Okay, so has everyone had a chance to, oh, I asked you to look over your work. Okay. So we are going to add and subtract decimals today. And you guys kind of did this on Apex on Friday, right? Everybody, was everyone able to get on Apex? After all the technology? Alright, so I'm going to go on and write rules for adding and subtracting decimals. Okay, now from the lessons that you all did on Apex on Friday, what is kind of the first step when you're adding and subtracting decimals that you have to do before you start adding and subtracting? What do you have to make sure you do first? Say it louder. Right. We have to make sure that our decimal points are lined up, so you can write that down.
And that's even when you're just writing the problem down. So when you're writing the problem down, you have to make sure that you are keeping your decimal points aligned.
If you guys looked at, I didn't really like it very straight, sorry. If you guys went on and kind of glanced at the front of the paper that I just gave you, you can see that they're written horizontally right now. So when you guys work out these problems, I'm going to want you guys to write them vertically. That means up and down. So for example, I'd have 1.89 multiplied by add 1.123. I want you to kind of write it like that. And writing on this problem kind of leads us into our second rule. What else, say if I was going to add this, there is more numbers, there's more digits on that bottom number than there is on the top. that top, Cameron?
Put a 0.
Put a 0, right. Now, I know that you guys know that if you don't have anything to add 3 by, it's gonna be 3. But what about when we're subtracting? Well, if you don't put that 0 there, what's most likely are you gonna do, Cameron? That's what you should do, but if you didn't put that 0 in there, you guys might make the mistake of just pulling down 3, and that's not right. Okay? So I want you always to put a 0.
And the reason for that, like I told my other classes, I've been doing this for a really long time, and every time that somebody tries to subtract without putting the 0 up there, they almost always will just pull that 3 down. Because they'll say, well, there wasn't anything there, so I just brought the 3 down. But then that's wrong. You have to put the 0 up there. Because you can't take 3 away from nothing, can you? If I don't have $3, can you take $3 away from me? No, I'm going to have to go borrow $3 from someone else for you to take away from me. So make sure that you put the 0 in there, so that way you'll remember to borrow before you subtract.
Okay. Give you guys a second to write that down. So these are our rules for adding and subtracting decimals. I am going to go on and do a couple examples with you that are on the front. They're going to be kind of out of order, so if you guys just want to...
They can do the examples with you, and then when they get to that number, they can just rewrite it.
Yeah, you guys rewrite it. So just kind of going through these examples on the back, so because you're going to have to rewrite the problem anyways when you do your assignment. So just kind of do it on the back, and you all can rewrite it after when you get to that problem. So I'm going to go on and do number 3. So 3 is written like this, 6.5. Well, just kidding. Number 3 is written like 3.65 plus 4. So I'm going to rewrite that. I'm going to rewrite that as 3.65. I'll line it up. Now, since that number 4, or being number 4, it doesn't have a decimal place in it. So I'm going to go on and put a decimal place in it. Would I put it before or after it? After it. So it goes directly behind it, and I'm going to go on and add in my zeros. So when we add this problem together, what's 5 plus 0?
5.
6 plus 0?
6.
Write down my decimal place. You always have to remember. Keep it lined up. 7. So that is our answer for number 3. You see how I kept my decimal places lined up? I filled in the zeros where I needed, where their empty place values were. And after, as long as you have your decimals lined up, you just simply add. I think that you guys did that a little bit on Friday on the Apex, right? Now I'm going to go do number 8, which is the subtraction problem. And this is 69 minus 12.88. So I'm going to write it as 69 minus 12.88. I'm going to go on and put my decimal place and my zeros for the placeholders.
And that's the place that's really important, because if not, I can almost promise you that if you don't put those zeros in there, I'm going to see people bring down that 88. And when she solves it in just a minute, you can see that that's not even close to being right if you put down the .88 in your answer.
So when we have zeros in that top number, we can't take 8 from 0, right? So what are we going to have to do? Borrow and regroup. I'm going to go on and borrow. So I can't borrow from 0, so I go on and go to the 8. And I change that to 10 and go on and borrow from that. You guys see what I did there? Is that how you all always regroup? Because I couldn't take it from that 0 again, so I had to go on and borrow from 8. So it's 10 subtracted by 8.
2.
9 subtracted by 8. Decimal point. 8 subtracted by 2. And then, excuse excuse me, 6 subtracted by 1. So our answer is 56.12. Does everybody understand the assignment? Alright, if you want to flip your paper over.
Can we do it?
Okay. So I want you guys to do all of the adding and all the subtracting. So 1 through 12, you all go on and do. And on number 13, 14, and 15, you guys haven't done this yet, but if you guys want to go on and try these, I'll try to briefly explain it, okay? You all don't have to do this, it's just going to be if you all want to try. So we see that number 13 reads A minus B, okay? In the directions, it tells us that A equals 219.6 and that B equals 12.024. So when I look at number 13 and I see that it says A minus B, when I rewrite that problem, instead of writing A, I'm going to look and see what A equals. And so I see in those directions that A equals 219.6. So I would write 219.6, and I see that's a subtraction sign. And instead of writing B, I would write 12.9. Does everybody see what I did there? Like I said, you all don't have to do these, and if you guys want me to come around and explain it a little bit more when you guys get to them, just raise your hand. And I will walk you through. So these are optional. Go on and cross out 16, 17, 18. We haven't done order of operations yet. That'll be in a few weeks, so don't try those. You'll all get confused. But do number 19. So I should do 1 through 12 and 19. 13 and 14 if you want.
And if you finish with these and have time left, I'll just log back on to Apex and finish up what we started on Friday.
And I'm going to keep these notes that we kind of took. Like
What's
share and all that.
Apex?
We'll show you when you get time.
If you all have, yeah.
We got a computer.
So here, guys, I'm going to write the assignment
Program.
over here in this little box.
Remember on the computer, we had that thing down. We were just adding and subtracting decimals.
I didn't get very far.
And guys, if you guys still have your quiz and you're going to make corrections on it, go on and do that first and get that back to me so I can put your grades in for you.
Did you finish? Did you finish correcting
If you
this?
guys need help, just raise your hand and me and Ms. Johns will come and answer any questions.
Understand the problem.
Bye.
Okay, so did you fix that one? Number 6. This one should be.
Okay, just go on and do that first. And if you need a calculator, kind of check it.
Okay. 6, 7, 8 thirds.
So like I said, how many times
So
is
you
what
flipped it, so you got,
So now you
what is this? 16 over 9? And then you gotta simplify 16 over 9.
So it's going to be
It's gonna be more than that because you remember you have to do 16 divided by 9.
63, 63 by
6, because that's an improper fraction, you're gonna get a mixed
3
number.
minus 0 will be 3.
Remember, it's still not,
This is going to be your homework.
so how many times will 9 go into 16?
That one,
How many
because you
left
already-
over?
This is going to be
7. So then how would you rewrite that as a mixed number?
there you go.
What's your whole number?
So you're doing all there, all the C, 23 over
Well,
50. So it'd be 1 and that.
How many
23 over.
whole 9s went into 16? That's your
I
whole
got
number.
choked up after all. I wasn't talking like
That's
this
gonna be your
earlier.
numerator, and your denominator stays the same. And then on this one, so I'm gonna watch you fix
No,
it
I
in
was
just a
planning
minute.
on lunch today, but it was okay. I mean, it was the first time. The chicken nuggets.
This way was right.
This one.
Okay. Now, You got 1/12. What did you put equals? Don't put that. This is your right answer. Because you did this right. She had half a pound, and she's going to divide it into 6 bundles. So each bundle is going to weigh 1/12 of a pound. 1/12 won't change to 6. Okay? So take that off and then circle that so we know that's your answer. Okay? And then just fix this one to your and put her in and mix it up.
And I go with the chicken.
What time do we have to do?
Be there about 6:30.
We're wasting time. Just go and sit down. Just chill there.
It's not a teacher store, but they're for Wi-Fi.
It's an old code version.
No, I plan on passing out. When I'm old, I want to be my friend. One shot, and we'll all die. Or like honor.
You cannot wear that.
Get my dreams.
You guys are late.
But I'll be passed out and then I'll probably die.
I have to say
But that's okay. Legit. It's a legit song. Lonely Island.
make sure that you're just.
Mother Love.
So it's buckets, it was,
Oh yeah, they made that. Did you know in Grown Ups 2, the singer was playing in it? Years ago I watched it.
you need to run it a lot of
Not really famous in most of them though.
Star from I don't know Hot Rod. Shane, did you get your quiz? Get your quiz done? What did I tell you? 16 nights.
Why don't someone does something?
And what, 7 nights? No. Oh, okay. Did I take this from someone? I don't know why it's in my head. It's not good.
What the heck?
Oh, where'd it go?
Where'd it go? Wait, you just grabbed it out of nowhere? Not just like, just like, hey, there it is.
Did I take this from one of you all? I don't know why. I have not the slightest clue why.
I need something to pick up with. I don't have nails. No, I can't do that.
Huh?
This is
Just make sure you're working so you can get on.
Mother Lover. Have you heard that song? That's so good. Have you heard it? Mother Lover is a good song. Well, wait.
Your mother lover? Your mother? You heard the song? Wait, no.
Why don't people trust us? Why can't you trust this camera? Exactly.
I don't think I trust
Shame. I was in this prison on Metro, and I'm just like, you can trust me without a gun.
Metro.
Yeah, have you ever played it? Well, the world was based on that. The world was bombed in 2088. 2021.
Guys, when you guys are finished with that, with your assignment, and if you've done it on a separate piece of paper, staple that together and put it in a box over here, okay? And take it out. And I know that you're supposed to do 1 through 12 and 19. Sometimes people earlier were forgetting to do 19. They have to come back and get their paper, okay? So remember, do 19 part A and part B. I wonder why you have electricity when so much is
You need to do it with
Here, do you have your t-shirt on today? I'm gonna get one, right? Yeah, just small
It's
force,
like
in
this.
front of the camera.
It's like this.
You done?
I wish I would. I wonder what it's like to be that lonely. I'd be lonely in my house, but you know. Just like
They don't know. I'm super energetic right now.
bones, but if a human dies, they used to meet off the bones and they just like pull it out.
Want to find out?
But sure, just sit still, put it out there. I had to You're Superman. I said it all.
Hey, guys,
No, it's not the camera.
Guys, has everybody in here done, we did their quiz, everything? I've gotten your questions back. Everybody? Alright, I'll give you back real quick.
Yes.
I might give it.
No.
Yeah.
That means I'm
He's feminine, so we have to call him Michelle.
Michelle.
I know I'm gonna call him.
Cal.
I'm gonna call.
Go on. That's not his name. I'm gonna call what? You don't want it back?
I need a good feminine name that starts with M. Miley.
Did you like your hair long? Miley.
Hey, Miley.
Hey, Miley. That's his name.
Miley. Your feminine name is.
I can't do it.
Your feminine name is.
Guys, I'm not gonna give you back your quizzes yet because there's still someone in this class that hasn't taken it. She's asking.
Oh, Angel.
I bet you $100.
No, she hasn't said she just
Sorry, Jake's fault.
skull. What? She already checked out.
What?
Yeah, she got in trouble for something.
I'm telling
Come on up. What would be a silly
I bet she got expelled.
Cinderella. No, Christina.
I wish mine was Samara.
No.
Samara.
That'd be my feminine name. Christina.
You got the stuff, man. You got the money. I got the stuff, man.
Christmas over here.
What?
What do you say? That was similar.
I am someone say, hey, how much are you? Actually, no, I said my best people. I'm like,
Chicken dumb moments. What?
Hey, well, I'm thinking about it. See, I told you that one.
What it was.
Since most people are finishing up, we have to. If you guys are done, put it in the box. We have to name our team. So you guys know that you guys are on a team, right?
Launch.
They should be called the Angels. I don't know if they know.
Okay. Well,
The
then,
team is Miss Highslope, Miss Weaver, Mr. Bond, myself, and I think Miss Simpson, or Miss Anderson, yeah, and Miss Simpson. So, like, we're considered a team. And we have the same group of kids. Like, if you have me, then you probably have Miss Weaver for social studies, Miss Highslope for language arts. So that's just considered the team. So now, just
okay. So we're gonna name our team. Well, hold on, back up.
Purple Spurs. I came up with it.
Yeah. Whoa.
Listen.
The math just.
I got ahead of myself. We're not gonna name the team right now. Right now, I kind of want you guys to brainstorm quietly among yourselves.
No.
Right up among your table. And think of names that you guys like us to be. And I'm gonna kind of jot some down. And then in the next couple days, I'm gonna give you guys a ballot. Do y'all know what a ballot is? Like I'm gonna have, you're all gonna have options. You're gonna have color options, and you're gonna have team options, and you guys are gonna vote. I'm gonna have all of the math classes on this team vote, so everyone gets a chance, and that's gonna be our team name, okay? Does that make sense? So take a few minutes, quiet at your table, don't get out of your seats. Don't get loud, and kind of just talk among yourselves and think of team names. And then here in a few minutes, I'll ask who has them. You guys raise your hand.
And also, keep in mind, when we vote, we can't have 45 different names for you to choose from. We'll probably, as the teachers will probably narrow it down to maybe 5 to 8 names. Because we have 45 names,
That's a
different
lot.
choices. And nobody's gonna have a majority. And don't pick something stupid because we're probably gonna eliminate that option to do.
And there's some colors that are already taken. So don't try not to base your team names on colors, because we're not gonna know it. It's gonna be like you're gonna vote on a color and you're gonna vote on a name. And I haven't decided what colors I'm gonna
We know it. We know it. Listen, light blue and bright pink has already been taken, so it can't really be blue or pink.
Dark blue. That's awesome.
Guys.
Hey. Smart.
Now quietly kind of talk amongst yourselves in about 5, well, we don't have that much time left to. And if it's about 2 or 3 minutes, I'll ask you guys.
I think we should be smart.
Guys, quiet.
Purple it is. No.
Yellow, that's
No, it should play
Play Cat Mario.
We should play the old Mario.
I played it on my Game Boy.
No, I mean like 1960.
I played it 1940 on Game Boy. With all the
Alright guys, does anybody have any suggestions for names?
Me, you people.
Hey.
I'm awesome.
I got
Okay,
the golden.
JD. Purple blur. Purple what? Blur. Blur? Well, what if our colors happen to be purple? Yeah. Or purple.
No, we're not going
Purple Smurfs.
I'm just gonna put.
Why not Smurfle? Thank you. No, the Mercas. The Mercans. Mercans. The Mercans. America.
America. Only in America.
What?
You gotta do the Did you ever live in America?
I know someone actually says America. America.
Alright guys.
I say America.
America. No, they actually they don't.
Guys, I'm not gonna put the colors. You know what it is. I like
Only in Germany.
Only in him.
They have big rednecks in Germany and then in
Dude, look.
They do.
Dude, look.
They have people that shoot fireworks up to
Dude.
what?
We're big cousins.
where they can vote on these after.
Oh, you don't have
What?
Siberians.
Oh, not that. I'm putting in America. The American Navy.
I don't want to be American.
No.
Hey guys, here in a second when Journey gets back from basketball, or maybe before she's back from basketball.
Purple Smurfs.
I didn't even get a phone. America. Is it bad?
I can copy you. You guys came up with that.
America.
I came up with the bees.
No, I
Max. Shane. Alright, Shane, do you have a name that you want?
Smurfs. That's lame.
Okay, guys, everybody get it back in your places, like get in your seats. These are very interesting choices.
Wait, America up there?
If we are going to see.
Alright, guys. Here's 5 choices.
Guys, listen, we're gonna narrow it down so that way we can have 2 names per class, so that way we'll end up having 8 on the ballot.
So guys, you get, since we're gonna narrow it down to
No.
hold on, listen. Since we're gonna narrow it down to 2, you all each get 2 votes, but that's it. If you all vote anymore, I'm just gonna pick one myself, okay? So make sure. Alright, and I want you guys to put your heads down. Wait, JD has a question.
Do we have to choose?
You're gonna, alright, I'm gonna read you guys your choices. Blur, gladiators, penguins, be beautiful, and koala monkey. Okay, so you all get 2 votes.
Monkeys.
Heads down.
Gonna be anonymous.
Yeah, heads down. JD has another question.
It was supposed to be the purple.
Well, we're gonna vote for colors separately, so it could be blur, but it could be a different color.
Why not America? Why not red?
You have to vote.
Tree.
You have to vote.
There it is.